This weekend we're at Kuala Lumpur for the Malaysia Grand Prix, and we're starting off with today's practice session. So sit back, relax and enjoy the action. So after the first race, how do you think this season will compare to previous years?
Well, I hope that we're in for a fantastic season. The Mercedes team have certainly come out of pre-season testing the strongest, which is all well and good, but it's the racing where the pace really counts. It's always difficult to predict, therefore, who's going to come out on top.
The new regulations for this year say goodbye to the somewhat unique nose designs that we saw on the 2014 cars.
The 2014 changes were brought in to promote safety, but I don't think it was anticipated how the teams would exploit the regulations. This year, those regulations have been tightened up to give some more traditional look to the noses on the 2015 cars.
Hello guys, and welcome back to some Formula 1 2015. Today we are in Malaysia, and we are now going to go ahead and head out on the track for this practice session. Exactly. So here we are now. We're going to come into the first our first time of the practice session here. We're going to actually get, of course, the quickest lap, but we can definitely do much quicker than that. Going to try and find some time. But the practice session actually doesn't prove to be too useful for me. I actually ended up driving the track several times. See, now we're in P8, which is pretty good, which is not too bad, and we don't move from there too much. I think we might actually move up or down to P9 now, so we don't actually move too much. I actually did spend a lot of time in practice though, trying to learn the track the best I could. There was a lot of high-speed corners that you need to get used to and stuff like that. See, now we're dropping down into P10, but I am actually not certain. And now P7 again. And I think we actually do stay there for the rest of the qualifying session here. I mean, at the practice session. So we're going to go ahead now and head right over into qualifying.
P1 in today's practice session is Kimi Räikkönen. It was a solid performance from the driver, and we should be expecting a similar performance from him in tomorrow's qualifying. And welcome to Malaysia as we head into the all-important qualifying session. The drivers are raring to go, and we're just waiting for the lights to go green to signify the start of the qualifying hour. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia, and I'm expecting another fascinating weekend to come here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, there are at least 3 or 4 other drivers that could be strong contenders for a front row start tomorrow, so it's difficult to predict who will come out on top, but it's certainly going to be an exciting qualifying session today.
Alright, here now we're going to come into the first corner and the first straight here. Going to set our first time in qualifying, which of course is once again the fastest. And still not at all where I want it to be, but decent still there. We're actually getting better as we go here, taking that turn a little wide just as I say that. We do actually end up getting better as qualifying goes on. We take a lot of time, and I don't actually mess around with the setups too much. I probably should start doing that a lot more. I just use the balanced one because that's all I really know how to use, and it's been working for me so far, at least. I mean, I don't know what is the best setup for any of these tracks. So I mean, here now we're in P5 on lap 2. We've dropped down, but actually now we went back up to P4. So that's good. That's way better than we were last race. It's 10 times better actually. We were, I think, last race like in 15th in qualifying, or maybe we were higher. I don't remember, but I'm definitely more happy and feel a lot more confident during this qualifying session here, and hopefully that carries over onto the race. So now we're in P5 once again, drop down there to lap 34, trying desperately to get, now we're going to run it rich actually, because I probably should have been doing that from the start, but just to kind of give us that extra kick. And I really wish, I think I need to start pushing when it comes to qualifying a lot more earlier, that way, because my tires tend to fall off during the end and you don't really get much. So we have actually moved up to P4 here in lap 5, which is very good in my standards, and I think we might stay here for the rest of the qualifying, and yep, we do stay in P5 for the rest of the qualifying. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the race now.
Today was Nico Rosberg's day after a frantic final few minutes in qualifying. It was he who came out on top.
He really knows how to put in a great lap when he needs to, and though he may not show it, I'm sure he'll be really happy to be on pole.
Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang for what is going to be a fascinating race. It's the Malaysia Grand Prix. Nico Rosberg will want his good fortune to continue on from yesterday's qualifying. He starts the race in P1 and has even said he's expecting to take the checkered flag first. You wouldn't want to bet against him doing just that.
When we spoke to him earlier, he felt that this was a great opportunity to go on and win, but he knows he still has plenty of work to do. Anything can happen in the race, so you have to keep your feet on the ground until you take the checkered flag.
What a race it was for Sebastian Vettel last time out. The German was back to his best and put in an almost flawless performance.
Well, after winning those 4 world titles back-to-back, Seb certainly struggled to adapt to the new hybrid V6 era. True to the saying, form is temporary and class is permanent, he's back to winning Grand Prix and showing just what a great talent he is.
Alright, here now we're in the race, getting in the starting grid here. Now we're going to rev up to 5 lights for the second time here in this season of Formula 1. We are going to go ahead now. We're going to go straight up now towards Raikkonen. Going to try and take the middle a little bit here soon. Yep, taking the middle, but actually not working because Massa and Raikkonen are getting very close to each other. Now we have an upture that was in contact now with Raikkonen. That was my bad. Didn't brake early enough. Wasn't trying to pay attention. Now being a little bit of a ping pong here between, I think it's Bottas and somebody else, but I couldn't see who it was. Now Vettel seems to be pulling away here with a little bit of pressure from Bottas, but he eventually falls back behind there. Trying to keep that gap very small here at the beginning of the race, but trying not to push it too hard and cause any lost traction, which I was kind of disappointed that it was actually raining on this track for the actual race. I would have rathered it rain before that because I wasn't exactly the most comfortable with this track to start with, and it being wet actually made it 10 times harder for me. But here you can see we're still keeping quite nice, pretty close to Vettel here, and pulling away lightly from Bottas, but that's not going to do much. Coming very close to Vettel now, but he's pulling away once again on the straight there. Still making good time though, still doing much better, still a lot more confident than I was last race. A little bit wide there, gotta try and get those corners to cut, gotta go out wide, gotta go a little bit slower in the corners and a faster exit would help me a lot. Gotta improve on that quite a bit here, but we're almost done the first lap and we're still not right behind, but pretty close to Vettel. He hasn't actually been able to pull away too much with the gap, so we're still in good racing terms here, which is very good for us. We're still in position 4, so we've actually gained a position from the start of the race, which is also a plus for us here. We're going to go ahead now and head up track here to the first straight, sitting first lap for us, and our gap seems to be around less than a second, so it would be nice to have DRS right away, but unfortunately that's not how it works. But we're still getting a nice gap. Yep, absolutely. I am absolutely struggling. I don't like the wet conditions here at all. I can feel the car slipping actually a lot in the back, and now we have a lot of pressure from Bottas once again. I think just as 11 laps, I didn't pit yet, so my tires were absolutely falling off. I was losing traction everywhere, and now Bottas comes right out of the inside. What an amazing pass that was. It was a good move. So fast with all his momentum. We're going to try and close off, though I don't want Ricardo passing me. He's going to try here, but I don't believe that he actually manages to do it. He comes very close, though, and eventually I think he decides to give up to not try and avoid contact with me, so that's good. We don't actually end up having any contact with him. He'd come really close if he would have kept the pressure. My traction was absolute garbage in that situation, so I don't know what I would have do. So now we're going to go ahead and pit here now. I think that's what we're doing. Yeah, we're going to pit here now. We're going to get our, I think I pitted 2 laps early. See, my loss of traction is absolutely terrible. Can't even stay on the pit lane track, so I didn't want to risk it too much. I didn't want to cause a collision and actually end up in last again like last race. I decided to pit now rather than later. Although it was 2 laps, we actually end up falling to position 13, but I'm not too worried about it at this point because we're only 13 laps in, so there's plenty of time to catch up. It's not going to be too hard to catch up now, especially now there's going to be people pitting afterwards, and I'll still be out when they do that, so it shouldn't be that bad. Now we're in position 18, and we are going to catch Sanis, Alonso, and Hulkenberg here. We're going to try and make a move here if we can. We're getting very close now to Stannis, going on the inside. Friggin' diving in there to the corner, going on the inside of Alonso. He's pulling out. We're going to come squeeze in right behind him and take him on the inside now. Right behind Hulkenberg now. Going to come up really fast on him, trying not to let him get away at all with Ericsson. Ericsson is right in front of him. Temperature looks decent over there, the corner there. We're going to try and pull him in on the inside, and then we're just going to, on this straight, try to gun it, and I think we actually do manage to get it past him. Yeah, we do. Now Ericsson's pulled away just a little bit from that, but he's not, I don't believe he has the fastest car, so I actually don't have too much trouble catching him. See, I'm already quite close to him right after that straight. Pulled away a little bit more now, trying to create as much of a gap as he can. He was actually somebody last race who weaseled his way by me, and so I definitely want this position from him. I definitely don't want to let him have this position, and I need to race up the track. I need to at least get 5th or 4th position in this race, so there's no way I'm going to let him keep that position he has there. I'm going to do everything I can. We're getting really close now, extremely close to him, but he's pulling away a little bit on the straights once again. That seems to happen a lot. It seems to be a lot of like close, and then whoever gets that turn first is just going to blast off, but then once you get the turn again, see here, we're going to come very close to him again. Still following him quite closely now after this corner. Really close. Going to get as close as we possibly can and then try and pull a move. He's slowing down here a bit on the straight. I'm going to try and power it by him, and I do power it by him now. He's still very close. He's going to try and defend a position, but realizes later that there's nothing he can do, and lets me have a position. And now we're going to get a gap, and we're back in position 4th because we passed the people in the pit lane who were pitted before us. Now we're right behind Vettel once again, but I believe I do need another pit stop soon. Yeah, exactly, because of the intermediate tires. We're going to go put those on because the rain is slowing down, which is a good sign. I'm getting more traction, and it's becoming a lot more easier to race for me now, so I'm very pleased with that. I wish that was how it was from the start, but unfortunately in F1 you never know. So I think we're going to go ahead and pit in here. That's what it's going to, yep, what we're doing right now. Pit in here, get switched up to the intermediates, hitting that little post thing along the side. Seem to have a lot of trouble now. Probably my tires are probably falling off again. I need to work on preserving those in any way that I can, whether that's changing the suspension setup on the fly or using a different setup for each track to protect the tires, because that seems to be my main issue, as I lose grip so fast. It's probably just me pushing the car to the limit, treating it like a normal racing game that you don't have tire wear. This is actually the first racing game that the F1 series is the first racing game that I've actually had to deal with any sort of tire wear. And here, I actually make a stupid mistake. I, without even realizing, tell them to put the option tire on. The track is still quite wet, so I end up losing quite a bit of traction. And that actually, I meant to, I don't know what I meant to do. I think I meant to put on the, I don't even know why I pitted. I can't even remember why I pitted in this situation here, but definitely wasn't to put those on. I know that for certain. But now we're falling down into position 9th, and it's very hard to get back up there, but thankfully the rain isn't too bad and the track isn't too wet, so we actually don't lose too much traction. We're actually able to pull off quite a bit here, because there's actually not too much rain, and I think other people actually start putting the same tire on at the end of the race here, so we actually got quite lucky doing this, because we actually did it early without even realizing. We actually got very lucky. I could have actually screwed the race for myself if I didn't. Now we're coming in here to the last lap. There is somebody ahead of me, but I think he has like a 7-second gap or something, so there is, I tried to do what I can, but there is nothing really that I can do here. There's nothing. He's way too far ahead. There's no way I'm going to catch up, but I do try to run in rich mode just to try and get up there as fast as I can. For some stroke of a miracle, if you were to crash or something, that would have helped me a lot. But we're in 5th position, right where we qualified, so that's pretty good at least. I mean, we didn't have too bad of a race. There was no big incidents, hence why this isn't going to be too long of a video. But yep, looks like Rosberg, sorry, has won this Grand Prix. That's good. At least somebody on my team has won the race today. I'm not that far behind. It's definitely no podium, but I'll take it, especially considering my level of driving. I will absolutely take that. That having that outcome really does not bother me. Coming around now into the last couple of corners for this race. I really did enjoy this track after a while, but it just took way too much time to get used to for me, so we're going to have to try and keep getting better the next time, whether that's, we're probably going to have to start playing with setups, because that seems to be, and learning how to preserve tire wear, because that seems to be the thing that is going to help me win for the next race, and we're going to have to settle for position 5 here in the Grand Prix, so I'm not too upset with that outcome. I think it's pretty good.
That's the end of this weekend's Grand Prix, and it's Nico Rosberg who takes the victory and now leads the Drivers' World Championship.
It must be a great feeling for Nico to be sitting at the top of the table. He's always been a strong driver, but with this car, he has a great chance of finally winning the Drivers' World Championship title.
Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
So yeah, guys, there you have it. That has been the Malaysian Grand Prix, the second race of the season here in this career mode. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it wasn't that much of an eventful one, but hopefully we can make sure that the next one is a lot more eventful. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.